We're glad to invite you to watch English news on Essential Television Channel Đồng Nai Province. On December the 2nd, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính led a working delegation of the government to inspect the actual progress of the construction of the Long Thanh International Airport project. This is the fifth time Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has inspected and urged the Long Thanh International Airport project in the past 2 years. And this time, the Prime Minister directed that the project must be implemented more rapidly and decisively to put into operation on December 30th, 2025. At the working session, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and members of the working delegation inspected the actual construction at the construction site and increased the incentive gifts for the staff and engineers working day and night at the construction site. Đồng Nai has completed the compensation and site clearance for Long Thanh Airport and is focusing on site clearance for the Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway project. Đồng Nai Province is also focusing on promoting 4 key projects, including traffic connection projects and airport urban planning, synchronously meeting the exploitation requirements when putting the Long Thanh International Airport project Phase 1 into operation. After listening to the opinions of ministries, branches, localities, and contractors, the Prime Minister requested to shorten the progress compared to before. The Prime Minister also directed ministries, branches, and localities to proactively implement tasks according to their functions and tasks, avoid pushing, and promptly submit to competent authorities for consideration issues beyond their authorities and requiring additional mechanisms and policies. Requesting the People's Committee of Đồng Nai Province to implement the planning to develop Long Thanh City into an airport city. The Prime Minister rejoined the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the Ministry of Transport for a delete of component projects 1 and 4 and assigned the Deputy Prime Ministers to review, resolve and remove the problems according to their authority in December 2024. The Prime Minister launched a 400-day and night emulation movement to speed up the implementation of the Long Thanh International Airport project so that it can be completed on schedule according to the new requirements set by the Prime Minister. The National Assembly has just passed a resolution of the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly, agreeing to continue reducing VAT by 2% in the first 6 months of 2025 for a number of groups of goods and services. Many units, businesses, and people are very excited, expecting this to be a driving force for continued economic development in the first half of 2025. This is the 5th term the 2% VAT reduction policy has been proposed. Previously, from 2022 to 2024, the National Assembly have 4 times decided to reduce the VAT rate by 2%. 2025 is the 4th year that the National Assembly and the government have decided to reduce value-added tax to support the economy and increase consumer demand. The Ministry of Finance believes that the VAT reduction will stimulate production and promote production and business activities. Thereby, it also contributes to creating additional revenue for the state budget. The Council for Reviewing and Voting for Typical Rural Industrial Products of Đồng Nai Province, chaired by the Department of Industry and Trade, held a meeting, reviewed and voted in 2024, based on the legal basis of Decision Number 41, dated November 16, 2015, of the People's Committee of Đồng Nai Province, which fully stipulates and is consistent with the criteria for voting for products according to regulations compiled and included in the provincial voting list. This year, since over 8 localities have registered to participate in the voting for typical rural industrial products at the provincial level, with a total of 27 products, according to the regulations on organizing the voting for typical rural industrial products in Đồng Nai province, issued together with Decision number 41, dated November 16, 2015, of Đồng Nai Provincial People's Committee. A product set is a collection of products produced by the same rural industrial establishment, used in combination to increase efficiency and aesthetics in one of the following cases. Products with the same features and uses, produced from the same raw materials but different in design and model. Products with the same design, model and features and uses, produced from different raw materials. Through the voting results, the Council announced 19 products and one set of products that met the criteria of typical rural industrial products in 2024. The voted products mostly belong to the group of agricultural, forestry, aquatic, food, and handicraft processing. China's Ministry of Commerce announced on December 2nd that it would ban the export of some important materials for chip production to the United States due to concerns about military purposes. The announcement comes after the Biden administration imposed new restrictions on the sale of high-bandwidth memory chips made by U.S. and foreign companies to China. Specifically, China's Ministry of Commerce said that materials such as gallium, germanium, antimony, and superhard materials will not be allowed to be exported to the United States. Beijing will also impose stricter assessments on dual-use products related to graphite. Last year, the Chinese government put gallium and germanium under close scrutiny as tensions between the world's two largest economies continue to rise. Singapore and Australia agreed on December 2nd to seek opportunities to increase access to each other's defense facilities, including visas by Australian officials to Singaporean bases. During a visit to Singapore yesterday, Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence Richard Marles said the two countries would announce an upgrade to a comprehensive strategic partnership next year, including plans for closer military cooperation. Speaking at a press conference attended by the foreign, defence and trade ministers of the two countries, Mr. Marles said that Australia and Singapore had agreed to pursue opportunities to increase access to defence facilities. Accordingly, the two countries will consider increasing visas by naval and air forces to each other's defence bases. For his part, Singapore's Defence Minister Ng Han said the agreement would provide the country with more training opportunities for pilots and soldiers. Singapore has allowed Australian ships and aircraft access. In return, Singapore has also sent pilots and fighter jets to Australia for training over the past 30 years. You've just watched English news on the Essential Television channel of Đồng Nai Province. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.